調悪い相手にそういう趣味の悪い冗談事言うのもやめてくんない？
Understood. I'll do my best. Where are the others?
さあ、マキナは私の風もらったのか部屋でダウンしてる。
So we're waiting on the other three. As I speak, someone appears from around the corner.
おはようございます。
Sachi, the next to arrive, has an equally severe case of the sniffles. Her maid uniform is disheveled, bringing to mind certain cheap Japanese pornos.
あら、さっちゃんもダウン？
はい、面目ないです。メイドとしてあるまじき体調管理の不甲斐なさで、世が世なら自害もやむを得ないくらいではないかと。
No. I've read a lot of history books of Japanese culture. That isn't the case at all. I don't think there were many historical periods where catching a cold was punishment by death, Sachi.
風見さんもおはようございます。
This is all of us so far. Makina is unconsciousness in her room. Sakaki, just as I was speaking, I hear the sound of dragging footsteps from around the corner. It's obvious from the look of Yumiko's face that she's in bad shape herself. She must be pretty out of it since she hasn't noticed that her socks are strangely bunched up at the toe. Her hair's in a mess too, and with loose strands bouncing around every step.
いいから。
Mind if I ask, what am I supposed to be leaving?
いろいろと突っ込みたいんでしょ。でも何も言わなくていいから。私への興味質問を他に向けてくれないかしら。
Understood. I won't comment on your bunched up socks or those stray hairs you got all over the place.
体調が元に戻ったら許さないから。
Yumiko's forehead caresses in the usual way as she straightens her hair and fixes her socks. But the powerful aura of rage that normally accompanies her scowls isn't there.
ユージ君は平気なの？
Staying healthy is part of my job.
そうなると体調が万全なのは風見さんと。うん。そういえば今日はまだ見かけないわね。
At the very moment, everyone was imagining a certain face.
だらしないわね、あんたたち。
Michiru dramatically appears in the hallway as if she's been lying in wait for the right moment to make her grand entrance, probably because she had, in fact, been lying in wait for the right moment to make her grand entrance. She jabs a finger out at us in an apparent attempt to an impressive pose.
季節の変わり目だし気をつけなきゃダメでしょ。案の定揃いも揃って体調崩してるなんて実医楽もいいとこだわ。
I'm not sick. Also, did you mean elegant?
本当にあんたたち実医楽ね、実医楽。
Ignoring me in her own poor grasp of the language, Michiru continues to harp on the Negaji group.
元気だけが取り柄みたいなメンツなのに風邪ひいてバカみたいに鼻ずるずる言わしちゃって情けないわね。
あなたに言われたくないわよ。
Likewise, ignoring Sakaki's crankiness, Michiru reaches into the pouch she's carrying, takes out a variety of boxes and plastic pouches, and places them on the common room table.
ほら、ちゃんと薬とかインスタントのおかゆとか用意したから各自持って帰ってさっさと治すこといいわね。ムカつくけど今日は反論できない。
ありがたくいただきますね、みちる様。
感謝してもいいのよ。つか感謝しなさいよね。
As Ruru wears spectacle, the group obediently follows Michiru's order. The girl seems overjoyed, almost disturbingly so.
こういう時、なぜかあの子だけ元気なのよね。
This has happened
なぜか
before.
風邪ひかないのよ、松島さんだけ。一時は本気で一服盛られてるんじゃないかって疑ったこともあったわ。
Poisoning.
何を考え込んでいるのかしら。
You might not be too far off with that hypothesis. It's just that you aren't the one being poisoned here.
はあしかし見事に私だけ風邪ひかないわね。なんでなんだろう。
Michiru tilts her head in on his puzzlement. A daily vitamin C intake on the level of a self-poisoning, a sleep and activity schedule like that of a grade schooler, and a natural, tranquil, vacant mind. Combining all of these factors, is no wonder she doesn't get sick often.
まあ、いっか。ほらほら、ユミコもぼーっとしてないで。早く取るもの取って部屋に戻りなさいよ。
言われなくてもそうするわよ。
Although her words sound defiant, Sakaki also obediently takes advantage of Michiru's kindness. Even if her willpower has been awakened by the cold, it doesn't seem like the Sakaki I know. I see, I've gotten something for a new perspective on this girl. Honestly, there's no mistaking that the fact that she's an idiot, but without a doubt, she is a necessary idiot for this place. Although this is strangely precarious bunch, Michiru is a complete outlier in her lifestyle patterns and thought process. Yes, her presence actually helps balance out the group in a way.
梅味がない。
ああ、アマネが持ってっちゃったのね。わかったわ。じゃあ後で部屋に持っていくから薬だけ持って戻りなさい。
わかったわ。
ユミコも存分に感謝するがいいわ。あ、いや、その感謝してもいいのよ。
Above all, I'm seriously surprised by the way something vaguely resembling friendly feelings seems to be temporarily present between her and this box cutter woman. Sakaki apparent interest in Michiru also seems to hint at some sort of positive emotion. Michiru might have some sort of mysterious charm in her own right.
ちょっとユージ。
What?
あんたもボサッとしてないで風邪もらわないようにマスクするとかしなさいよね。ほら、ここに用意しといたから。
Yeah, I'll take one. Take the mask Michiru thrust out on me. I return to my room. There are parts of people who can't judge from unified perspective. Trivial as it might seem, I picked up another bit of knowledge at this school. What part is this on? 7. And we're back to this again.
酸っぱいよー、酸っぱいよー。
Several days after the cold incident in the dormitory, once again I encounter Michiru drinking something sour in the lobby. And the way she's writhing in agony, she doesn't seem to have gotten used to it in the least. Why are you so caught up on drinking sour things? You don't seem to enjoy them. Do you enjoy making yourself miserable? If this is just one facet of the deeper masochist fetish, I'll have to demonstrate a certain level of acceptance and understanding.
さいわね。こうやってビタミン C を摂取すれば頭が良くなるのよ。あんたそんなことも知らないの？
I'm pretty sure it is not vitamin C. What? Who polished a thesis like that and where? I think I have a basic familiarity with the benefits of vitamins, at least. Vitamin C's effects are so famous that I'm actually surprised to hear anyone was still researching it.
論文？それはわかんないけど、ほら、イワシとかマグロの頭とかそういうのに入ってるの聞いたことあるでしょ？
Sardines, the head of tuna. Sardines, tuna, and a positive effect of the intellect. I think I get it.
何よ、今さら気づいたってあげないからね。私はあんたよりも絶対に頭良くなって見返してやるんだから。
Highly doubt it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
何さ、その余裕の表情。教えられる立場になった時に初めて後悔するがいいわよ。
Unfortunately, judging from the way she's confusing vitamin C with DHA, It's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But to explain her mistake here and now would be too cruel. I'm sure she'll naturally discover the truth herself someday. Well, you may not be capable of teaching me much at the moment, but I'm counting on you to help me out if I get sick. Don't worry about it. You just keep up the vitamin C intake and regular sleep patterns for everyone's sake. Spitting out a venerable tsundere stock phrase as her parting shot, Michiru stalks off. They don't stick labels on people prematurely. But regarding the girl named Mashuma Michiru, in consideration of various events up to and including the current case, I've arrived at a certain conclusion. This girl is in fact an idiot. I also have to look up something right now. Probably because I've been living in the world where maintaining a decidedly realist perspective is a matter of necessity. I never felt any interest in the paranormal or occult phenomena. Such stories are often frauds, created to prey on the weakness of human nature, and more fundamentally, I never found any meaning in the idea of the supernatural. But in my workplace, where human lives are frequently given and taken, these sorts of rumors aren't uncommon. Even a disinterested party like me has absorbed more stories than I can count on both hands. When he got back, he went delirious with fever, his limbs grew numb and eventually totally immobile. When a doctor examined him, they couldn't find any cause for his condition. They threw in the towel and left him to rot in bed. I thought, no, that's what really happened, and he died a month later. I don't tell lies, even white lies. He's dead, left me a little something in his will. Yeah, with that scream, I couldn't even tell. Compared to the reasonable, calm Sachi and Makina, Michiru is in a state of serious terror. Amin's expression is also strangely cramped from the way her Kansei accent is leaking out. I say she's not quite unaffected herself. Don't know, he wasn't that healthy to start with, so there's a good chance he just picked up some illness that killed him. Yeah. Nope. Not all diseases can be explained, especially since there's always a new one created every single day. And I say created because some diseases could be man-made, natural, or otherwise. As in somehow coming here through asteroids from other planets of bacterium. Michiru clamps her head over her ears and thrashes around, moaning like a wild animal. Though the course of her evolution seems to have reached a new stage, this isn't the time to study that hypothesis. Were you that scared? Sorry.
みちる様、落ち着いてください。結論が時計の針のごとく元通りに。
だってマジじゃんこいつ。普通は気を使ってもうちょい緩い話にするのに、容赦一切なしで優しさかけらもないし。
まあいいじゃないか。チルチルがここで恐怖のあまり失禁したとしても、みんな何事もなかったかのように振る舞う優しさは容赦するのよさ。
失禁しねえよ。あとそれ優しさじゃないから残酷だから構え。
Understood. If and when Michiru pisses herself, I promise to pay close attention. At any rate, my story is over, so let's stop for now. There are 5 candles in front of us. I blew out the flame of the last one that's still burning.
はい、お疲れ様でした、皆様。
Sachi turns on the lights and begins to clean up the candles. After dinner, for some reason, we all ended up telling scary stories in the lobby. It was a standard campfire style ghost stories around, with everyone having a try at frightening the rest. Maybe the lukewarm summer night made for a good atmosphere as everyone got into it.
なんだかんだ言って最後のユージ君のが一番怖かったわ。
風見さんの話は虚飾がない分だけ本物っぽく聞こえましたしね。
Well, it's not fiction.
ちょっとやめてよ。最後は嘘でしたで終わっておくのがせめてもの優しさってもんでしょ。
If I told you if it was just a story now, would you believe me?
信じるわよ。ちゃんと言うなら信じるから。
Alright, God, that story about the tunnel was all a lie. Also, my coworker was alive and kicking.
やっぱ無理。信じられないわよ。なんとかしてよ。洗脳してよ。そういう機会持ってきてよ。
I think they gave up after a few minutes with your brain. Ignoring Michiru's hysterics, everyone starts to head back to their rooms. At this point, I realized something been a bit odd about tonight. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Sakaki. The other paused at my words, then turned back around with a thoughtful expression on their face.
そういや、今日は見かけなかったわね。さっちゃん見た？
いえ、今日は学校では見かけましたが、寮では見た記憶がありません。私はちらっと見たけど、すぐに部屋へ引っ込んじゃったから、その後はわかんないのよさ。
Maybe she didn't want to deal with us in the group. Given Sakaki's personality, I can't imagine her voluntarily participating in this sort of social event. My guess would be that she just shut herself up in her room since she couldn't avoid running into our gathering if she went downstairs.
いや、あの子って別にそこまでこういうイベント嫌いじゃないわよ。
Really?
まあ積極的に参加してるかというとそうでもないけどね。でも参加しておかなきゃって意志みたいなのはあると思う。
Amin nods at Michiru's words.
そうね。普段みんながここで集まってる時もあそこに背中くっつけて立ったままで話聞いてたりするもんね。
She points to a pillar on the edge of the lobby and the hallway.
はい。だから今日この場にいないことは比較的異変のように感じます。
I see.
ユミちゃんは分かりやすいテンプレみたいなクーデレだから照れてんのよさ。お兄ちゃんがちょっとスケベ心出して突っ込んだら、だってそんな恥ずかしいじゃないって速攻落ちるに決まってるのよさ。はい、それぐらいの対応はあってしかるべきではないかと思います。榊さんは精巧なロボットのように的確なクーデレぶりを常時発揮されますし、今回の一件もそれに起因するものであるのはもはや明白であると思われます。
私 なんか今すごくユミコに同情しちゃったわ。
同情？なんで？ひょっとしてチルチルもわかりやすい属性持ち同士、その辺は分かり合える部分があるとか、そういうの？同族意識？なあ、顔を背けてねえで言うのよさ。
うるせえ、あんたのそういう必要ないじりに同情するって言ってんでしょうが。
大きな声を出さないでください、みちる様。急に大声を出すとお体に触ります。私は無鉄砲に生きるみちる様が心配でなりません。
サチもなんかなそういうの。
As I watch Machina, whose abusive tongue and nasty personality are growing more pronounced, Sachi, whose cyborg-like reactions are growing more dramatic, and Michiru, who is growing more victimized by the day, I find myself growing a little curious about Sakaki's way of life. Come to think of it, since the boss cutter incident was resolved a few days ago, I don't remember exchanging anything but a few basic communications with her. I don't intend to pry too deeply, but for the sake of a smooth school life from this point on, it might be a good idea to learn a little more about her. Hey, there's something I want to ask you guys. Do you have a few minutes?
はい、さすがに勘が鋭いですね、榊さんは。
When you're being followed by this many people, of course you're going to notice. Yesterday evening, I tried lightly asking the others about Sakaki's daily life and habits. But the answer I received in return provided much flimsier information than I expected. One thing we know about Sakaki Yumiko is that she doesn't let people see much about herself, much less her private life. Our only real glimpses of her thoughts are hints from her gestures and body language. Sakaki's lifestyle is a vaguely defined mystery even to the people she's been living with. Without an active effort at observation, things are likely to stay that way.
だからこそ、ユミちゃんの生態を調査するのよ。
Probably 80% out of the idle curiosity, Makina and Sachi ended up volunteering to cooperate with my investigation. Now, cooperation has taken to form of an incredible sloppy tailing operation that was nearly given away in a matter of seconds, to be honest. Nothing but a burden, Makina in particular. I asked the wrong people.
どうかしたのよ。
No, forget it. If things get bad, it's every man for himself. Putting aside any reflection on the basic question on why we're doing this for, later we continue our investigation of the highly mistress Sakaki.
棒のように足が鳴って疲れたのよ。
Lying lapidly on her side of the sofa in the lobby, Makina mumbles a few grammatical scrambled words of complaint.
結局、何一つわかりませんでしたね。
Sachi flops down next to me, heaving a tired sigh herself. Well, her guard was even tighter than anticipated. After spending an entire day following Sakaki's every movement outside of class, we gained absolutely no new information. During her free periods, she reads books in absorbed silence. Her pace in school was always steady and regular, without any suspicious hasty movements.
人間味が感じられなかったのよさ。ロボットっぽいというか、無機質な感じがしたのよ。
Just as Makina says, Sakaki's behavior was reminiscent of a machine.
はい、あれではまるでサイボーグのように思います。
Become the freaking Terminator. Bring in Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're one to... Well, whatever, you're not wrong. But I don't think I can be satisfied with this. From what I heard yesterday, Sakaki doesn't dislike being in a group with the others. Even if she doesn't participate in the conversation, the way she constantly lingering at the edge is easily comprehensible from that perspective of human psychology. That doesn't fit with her machine-like action in the daytime. In the first place, she does ever let her emotions show on her face. Apart from the hostility Sakaki showed me at first, I haven't seen any evidence of an emotional reaction from her.
そういえば喜怒哀楽とはちょっと違うのですが
Sachi raises her hand and speaks somewhat hesitantly.
榊さんがびっくりしているところを見たことならあります
Startled. Sakaki, it doesn't seem like she bat an eyelid, even if the dorm exploded under her. What kind of surprise got a reaction out of her? In response to my question, Sachi continues in a slightly hushed
榊
tones.
さんにはかなり不本意な話だと思うのですがそのカップ焼きそばをですね
Yakisoba. Instant yakisoba?
はいおヤングのソース焼きそばです湯切り楽々ホールが標準搭載熱湯3分
Not interested in the brand name or product features. What does it have to do with
あの
Sakaki?
カップ焼きそばって湯切りをするじゃないですかお湯を捨てた時にシンクが熱湯に反応してボンって音を立てるのわかります
True, it'll make a sound if you dump it all at
はい
once.
それで同じことを榊さんがして焼きそばが仕方ない榊さんこれそのままで私は後片付けをして帰ってきました
Oh, Sakaki did that. With that cool and calm appearance, you never think that she'd be startled by something as small as that. In reality, she must have a pretty low tolerance for sudden scares. I kind of want to see that side of Sakaki, but I'm not particularly likely to run into her at the exact moment she's draining her instant noodles. And given Sakaki's personality, I doubt she'll make the same mistake twice anyway. Although I wouldn't mind seeing her cautiously filling the sink, prepping a strainer, and tensely draining the hot water either.
いいなそれ私も見てみたいのよさ
Unfortunately, I doubt she'll do that twice.
それは湯切りの話でしょ別の方法だったらいいのよ
What? Makina lightly jumps off the couch, floating a diabolical grin.
ユミちゃんを待ち伏せして驚かしてやればいいのよさ
What are you saying?
面白そうだけど榊さんをひどく怒らせることになるんじゃないのかな
Just as Sachi says, when you consider the aftermath, trying a stunt like that on Sakaki seems like a very dangerous plan.
私だけでやるから大丈夫なのよバレないようにやるから平気なのよさ
What the fuck? Makina's miraculous curiosity seems to outweigh her awareness of the risk.
さっちそろそろ帰ってくるはいあと2分ほどで玄関に到着します
Intelligence arrives from our detached unit, namely Sachi.
これであとはターゲットが近づくのを待つだけなのよさ
I'm going to do one more part, and then tonight I'm going to upload it.